Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I will be starting a new sketchbook, which is super exciting because the last one, quality-wise, not my favorite. So this time I picked up the highly recommended Strathmore 500 mixed media sketchbook, and I really like the soft cover of it, which of course I instantly covered with stickers. After only having one sticker on my previous one, I went absolutely ham and covered the entire thing from front to back. So if you would like to work together with me, grab your sketchbook or iPad and let's finish this first spread in the sketchbook. Arrtx recently reached out to me about trying out some of their markers and a pencil set. The pencil set comes with 14 pencils ranging from 4H to 8B. But the star of the show is, of course, their 66 Arrtx pastel alcohol markers. The box comes with a variety of colors ranging from pinks, yellows, blues, and greens. Each marker is a dual tip, so it has both a brush tip and a chisel tip, which is definitely my favorite type. Personally, I don't like markers with fine tips because I find them harder to work with and they just don't spread on the paper that smoothly, and it just takes way longer to fill in a space instead of just the brush pen, which I think just works a lot faster. The box also comes with a swatch sheet, so it's easier to reference each color. I never actually had a huge box set like this before. I have only had a couple of Copics markers which I have been collecting. I have like a bunch of them that are like hand-me-downs, or I occasionally go to like an art store and I pick up one or two colors. So this was very exciting to fill out the sheet and see how all of the colors look on paper. And honestly, I am obsessed with these colors, especially the purples, which I think it has the biggest variety in the box. Like, I think there's not a lot of oranges and pinks. So I definitely think like the blues and the purples are like the ones that have the bigger variety. I also really like how the box serves as a holder. Like, you don't have to buy anything separately to store your markers. It also comes with a handle, which I thought was a fun addition, though I don't know how much I would carry around this huge box with me. It would be fun for like an art picnic and everybody can share the markers, but I would probably not bring with me everywhere. Like, I would still kind of just pick out the colors that I would like to work with if I want to take it somewhere. But yeah, I think for like an art picnic, it would be a pretty like cute idea to bring this set, and then the handle would be cool. And on the topic of art picnics, let's talk about the sketch I came up with for this first page in the sketchbook. The other day, I met up with some of my art friends to attend this sketchbook club in my city. They have it at different locations each month, and this time they hosted it on a farm. There was a big chicken coop that we ended up sitting around, and we just sketched the chickens for like an hour and a half. It was so fun, and because I had the references and kind of like a fresh idea of the farm in my head, I thought I would do something relating to that. So I drew this cute cottagecore fairy holding a chicken, which I don't know if the chicken is just a very tiny chicken or if the fairy is human-sized, but either way, I was very excited to use these markers for this piece because it's starting to become the end of spring and these colors really reminded me of that, and I definitely wanted to create something inspired by like spring flowers and spring colors. That's why there's all of these like flowers in the background as well. So these are like your typical flowers that you see around like springtime in other regions. Like in Florida, we don't really have any of these flowers, but they really remind me of like Hungary's springtime and blooming season. These markers were honestly so great to work with. They spread really nice, not leaving any streaks, and it was easy to pick the colors from the box because the tops of the markers matched pretty well with how it looked on paper. Not all of them look exactly like the marker top, but I think it is pretty accurate. Like I have seen markers that don't look anything like how the tops of the markers look like, so these are pretty close. It was interesting to decide on the combinations though, because of how light all of these colors were. Like there's not much contrast between the values, only some slightly being darker than the others, which can be a bit limiting, but I think it's great for a base, and then using pens and pencils on top to add more shadows and values to your piece. They did include a black marker though, which I think would be perfect for a background color. I was actually contemplating on giving this piece a black background just to see how it would look like, but I was worried it would not look right or give the flowers a harder edge than I was originally going for. And also I think the grass at the bottom would have looked a little weird because it would have been like very harsh like lines. So plain white was the end result, and maybe I'll just try the black background for another piece later on. I think shading ended up being my favorite part in the whole process. I honestly believe that that's where this set really thrives, because you have all of these soft pinks and oranges, and then the blues and purples are perfect to add on top for a bit of contrast. I also tried to play around with creating this orange light from the top, but I don't think I blended it super well, so I'm not sure if it translates. I think where it went wrong was that I wasn't blending as I was working. Like I laid down the orange down first, and then I let it dry instead of instantly picking out the next color that was supposed to go like underneath or like blended in together with the orange. Also, this set comes with a colorless blender, which I tried to use, but again, I think once the color dries, you can't really blend it anymore. So it kind of just didn't work even with that, because I would have had to like go from like orange to colorless blender or orange to the next color in colorless blender, and I kind of just put all of the orange down first. So I will definitely experiment a bit more to try to achieve the look I was going for, but overall, I'm very happy with it. It kind of ended up looking like a character from an old illustrated fairy tale book when I was a kid, and I've just been really into drawing fairies and coming up with some characters, so maybe I'll make like a whole video dedicated to them. I also did this fairy book project for my final semester in college, so I've just been like really into fairies. Like I don't know what is with that, but I just really love, like, you know, Tinkerbell, Pixie Hollow, like fairies. So maybe that could be like something I could do as a dedicated video. So let me know if you're interested in watching something like that. So in the end, I would definitely recommend these markers if you're a pastel artist or if you need a set of base colors to work on top of. I think the price is great because you can get 66 markers for only $68, which is like a little bit more than $1 per marker, which is so cheap. Like Copics cost like $7+ so getting a whole set like this for each marker only being like $1 is like great. And I think the quality is pretty much the same. Like it's very similar, and even though you cannot really refill them, like there's so many of these colors that you have in the set that you would not really like need refills, because some of these colors are super close to each other. So if one runs out, you can just use the other one. I will for sure use these for future projects. I want to experiment with different liners for them. Like I would love to see how a Pentel brush pen would look on these, which is like my favorite brush pen. So maybe I'll experiment with that as well. And because I didn't use the pencils for the first page, I thought I would do a little doodle page for them. I used 3 of the 14 pencils. I don't really like the super dark ones. Like I think the most intense one is the 8B, which is great if you exclusively work with pencils because you can use it for the darkest tones. But me personally, I only use these for simple sketching, so I went with the middle ranges of like HB, B, and 2B. I was pretty satisfied with these. They were nice and buttery on the paper. I also really like that each pencil has its own color, so it's very easy to distinguish them from each other. And also the colors are so cute. Like I love me a color blocking moment. My only con, which is not the fault of this set, it's just pencils in general, is that like I have to continuously sharpen pencils. Like for them to have like a nice thin line, like even though I use a lot of colored pencils, like I think it's on me. I should get like an electric sharpener. It's just it's not fun to like literally you have to pause your drawing because you have to sharpen your pencil because they don't stay as sharp as I want them to. And then like, you know, you sharpen it and then you place it on the paper and it like that little tip like instantly breaks, and it's like, oh okay, so now I don't even have even more time to like have a thin line, like I have to like sharpen it again. So but again, this is not really related to the set. It's just, I don't know, with pencils it's like sharpening them is a little hard, so and that's why I usually use mechanical pencils. But overall I think these are great, and I think they blend really well. They don't break at all. Like when I'm sharpening it, like they sharpen really, really nice. And I think the values are great. Like you have a big range of graphite values for this set. For the price for these, it's $10. So again, less than $1 for each pencil. And they are a lot cheaper than like Prismacolor pencils, which I think like a set of 12 is like $15 or something like that. So definitely worth it if you would like to try some graphite pencils, or if you are thinking about getting like a cheaper set of high quality pencils for your pencil sketching. I watched Static Wool's video where she tried Arrtx's markers as well, and she drew on the thank you card, and I thought that was super fun, so I doodled little flowers on mine to match with the fairy piece. I pasted in the corner of the page, so when I'm flipping through you can't really see it, and I still need to like fill the rest of the page, but I think it's a good little reminder of the materials I use, and also it's just like a little doodle that you can like put in your sketchbook. And this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to Arrtx for letting me try these beautiful markers. And if you would like to try them out yourself, you can find it in my descriptions below. I hope to see you in the next one, and have fun drawing!